Good evening from Larry Knight Field in Sumrall. It's time for area high school baseball action as the Sumrall Bobcats entertain the Forest County Aggies. I'm Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson. Getting started a little bit late from our 6:30 scheduled starting time because of senior night festivities as this senior class was saluted. Andrew Knight gets the start on the bump tonight for the Bobcats. His battery mate is Ryan Little. Let's take a look first of all for the Aggies who come in here 7-15. Alec Adams will lead it off and play right field. He'll be followed by the pitcher Miles Green. Blaine Palmer, the designated hitter, bats third. He'll be followed by the cleanup man Wade Riles, the first baseman. Batting fifth, playing center field is Jason Garner. Then comes the third baseman Mason Shows. Batting seventh for the Aggies is the shortstop Aaron Morgan. Batting eighth, the left fielder Darius Rankin. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Cody Bickford. So for the Aggies, it's Adams, Green, Palmer, Riles, Garner, Shows, Morgan, Rankin, and Bickford. We'll go over the Bobcat batting order in the bottom of the first inning, but defensively, with Knight on the mound, it's Levi Odom at third, Marshall Phillips at short, Ryan Little at second, and Hayden Norrid, last night's winning pitcher, over at first base. The outfield, per usual, has Tweeter Barrett in left field, Hayes Rayner in center, and Cade Dito in right. The outfield is really moist. They cut it today, but if you get a really good view where you're here in person, you can see exactly where the lawnmower tracks were because it's really gushy out there. But to get this game in, and we're not necessarily convinced we'll get it in tonight. We hope that the rain will evade us long enough that we'll be able to get it in. This Sumrall Bobcat webcast is sponsored by Recommended Collision Repair, the Alpha Insurance Company, and Casey Long's agency, Rainforest Car Wash, ComSouth Communications, Java Mo's Coffee Shops, State Farm Insurance Agent Stacy Clark, Real South Hunting, and our title sponsor, Dandy Dan's, with two locations to serve you in Bellevue and in Sumrall. A wide variety of coffees. They're open early every morning. Different types of fuel, too, to keep you on the go. First pitch from Knight is a fastball strike as Patrick Carr goes up with the right hand, the home plate umpire. So strike one to the hitter. There's a breaking ball, strike two now. No wind to speak of, and the temperature dropping a little bit as the day and night has worn on. Swing and a miss, three straight pitches. And Adams is down on strikes. The Bobcats know their playoff future. They're in as the number one seed and as the district champions, but the Aggies have got to win this game in order to get in the playoffs, or they will be the odd team out. The other team's Purvis in the two-hole, and then there's a strike again as Poplarville and Greene County would get the other two spots. Miles Green, the pitching counterpart of Knight. There's another. Knight has thrown 5 straight pitches. He is on fire early on, and this is just a continuation of the way he pitched at Purvis in that 14-inning marathon. Breaking ball struck him out. 2 up and 2 down. And here comes Blaine Palmer, the designated hitter. Should he reach, then Wade Riles, the first baseman, would come up to bat. Aggies wore those black uniforms yesterday. In Brooklyn, the more traditional maroon and white here tonight. Here's a fly ball, little lazy fly to Dito. He's measuring it, and he's got it for out number 3. So a very quick inning of work for Andrew Knight. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. For the Bobcats, who come in here with a 20-2 record, Hayden Barrett leading it off. He'll be followed by Hayes Rayner, Marshall Phillips, and Hayden Norrid. Those 4 have pretty much been the same since the beginning of the year. Cade Dito bats 5th tonight in right field. Then comes Ty Little in the 6th hole. Jaron Gore batting 7th. He's the DH tonight. He's hitting .490. And then the Bobcat batting order is rounded out with Levi Odom and Ryan Little. Christy Martin is watching on Facebook Live on her computer out of Folsom, Louisiana. You can join us too. We'd love to give you a shout out. Give us a call at 601-310-7077. Again, there's rain all around us, but none has fallen here at Larry Knight Field so far. And we hope that that will be the case, at least enough to get this game in. I know a lot of you are wondering about the status of the West Jones game tomorrow, which was the regularly scheduled game, and we just don't know anything to tell you right now. Because if it rains, Jones County, of course, north of here, and the Southern Miss game getting rained out tonight, you think that rain from Ruston will be moving over this way. And if that's the case, and it's not necessary for that game to be played between Sumrall and West Jones. So with Forest County and Sumrall playing 2 nights in a row, it might put a little bit of a tax on the Sumrall pitching staff. But again, we don't know at this point as to whether the West Jones game will be played or not. You can find out by following the Sumrall Bobcats on social media at Sumrall Athletics. So here's Hayden Barrett. He was one of the seniors we saluted tonight, and on his information sheet, he said his name was Hayden Barrett. We learned last night what his middle name was. I said, you sure we don't want to put your middle name in there? And he didn't hesitate in saying, no, do not put my middle name in there. So Barrett against Green. First pitch, a little slow roller out towards second. Second baseman slipping and falling, but then throwing to first and got him by half a step. Boy, it was close. But Mike Smith said he's out on the 4-3 put out. One pitch, one out. And initially, Cody Bickford slipped there a little bit on the infield, but was able to recover and make the throw. And here's Hayes Rayner. Righty versus lefty. Miles Green played second base last night, and he's on the mound here tonight and throws strike 1 to Rayner. The radar will be watched closely here tonight. 1-1 the count. Again, Patrick Carr, the home plate umpire. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rayner behind in the count now, 1-2. Very little wind to speak of. 325 down the left field line, 305 to right. So left-hander hitters have a big advantage here. Fastball strike on the inside corner for strike 3. Rayner goes down looking.
Shortstop, Marshall Phillips.
And here's Marshall Phillips now. It's almost like, if you didn't know any better, it almost looks like the players are even trying to hurry up to get this game done so that if rain does come, they'd be far enough along to where the game would be official. Strike on the outside corner to Phillips. Man, both pitchers have been chunking strikes in here so far. Patrick Carr kind of telling both teams they better swing the bats. Nobody walking tonight. That's outside. 1-1. Patrick Carr's got an old-time batting helmet kind of turned on backwards. Here's a chopper toward third. High bounce, should be a routine play. High throw, though, and Phillips is aboard. That'll be an E5 by Mason Shows. Shows threw it over the head of his first baseman, and of course, the old broadcasting hex, once you say it should be a routine play, it's not. So here's Norred now, who was introduced tonight as one of the seniors. His parents, Darren and Lisa, were here, along with brother Holden and little brother Hayes. His older brother, Hunter, was not here. So you had Hunter, Hayden, Holden, and Hayes. And Ty Little has all of his siblings are all start with the letter T, and Levi Odom's family has all L's. Luke, Levi, Leo, Lanny, and I don't know, I I always forget one of them. 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch swinging. Norwood tried to pull a pitch that was on the outer part of the plate, and he missed it for strike one. Again, it hasn't rained, but the temperature is definitely beginning to drop. And just now we're starting to feel little spits of raindrops. Here's the 0-1 outside. 1-1 now to Norwich. Should he have any success, then Cade Dito would come to the plate. No score. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the first. We're scheduled for 7. Miles Green on the hill. Throw over to first base to keep Phillips honest. What little wind, there's just a little wisp of a wind, and it's blowing out toward right field, which is standard fare pretty much here at Larry Knight Field. Green working the right side of the rubber, outside again. 2 balls and a strike to Hayden Norred. One of his kind of trademarks is putting that foot right on the back chalk line, regardless of how fast a pitcher throws. 2-1 pitch. Here's a liner towards center, but right there to make the catch is Jason Garner, who is a tremendous center fielder for Forest County. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. No score. We go to the top of the 2nd inning here in Sumrall tonight. No score. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. So we head to the top of the 2nd inning. It'll be Riles, Garner, and Shows for the Aggies. As again, just a couple spritzes of light rain have been falling, albeit temporarily. Recommended auto collision repair right in the little neck between Old Highway 11 and 589 on the way to Purvis. We hope that you're never involved in a car accident, but if you are, there's only one place to take your car to be repaired. That's Recommended. Lincoln Gatwood and his crew there. Rec with a W. Recommended Auto Collision Repair. Here's Wade Riles, the first baseman. Righty versus righty, the matchup, and he fought that one off and shot it over near the Sumrall dugout. That'll send you scurrying for cover. Knight had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, and I think about the first 7 pitches he threw were strikes, and they weren't necessarily just fastballs. His deuce is really turning out to be something special. There's a changeup that's inside. A ball and a strike now to Wade Riles. With Jason Garner on deck, that center fielder for the Aggies, he put a bunt down last night and beat it out. Unbelievably fast is Garner in center. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Wind kicking up now again. A few youngsters out behind the scoreboard. They're in right field. Knight kicks and delivers the 1-1. Swung on, fouled, out of play. Right behind us here, we're on the 3rd floor of the press facility here in Sumrall. The right field executive lounge is filling up. Nobody out in left field as that one isn't covered. The 2-2 pitch to Wade Riles. Took something off it and struck him out. Boy, Andrew Knight may be destined for a heck of a night tonight. As here's the aforementioned Garner.
Center fielder Jason Garner.
Wind again blowing out toward right. If any of the defenders have problems tonight, it's going to most likely be the outfielders, because I don't care how long your cleats are, it's going to be slip sliding away out there in the outfield tonight, as wet as the outfield is. That first pitch is outside. I think it was Paul Simon that had a hit slip sliding away back in the 70s. And that could be the theme tonight for both outfields. The 1-0 pitch inside, 2-0 to Garner with Mason FCAHS on deck. Base is empty, one away here in the top of the second inning. Sumrall and Forest County finishing up their regular season series. 2-0 pitch. That's there. And again, that one dangling game out there with Poplarville that the Bobcats were supposed to play at Poplarville, no word at all. And it's almost like a family kept secret. Nobody even brings it up. That one's fouled out of play. 2-2. And you know, Poplarville's not chomping at the bit necessarily to play it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Knight from that 3-quarter windup. Breaking ball, struck him out. Down he goes. Already 4 strikeouts for Knight, and we're just in the second inning.
Third baseman, Mason FCAHS.
And here's Mason FCAHS. The left-handed hitting, right-handed throwing third baseman. Well, Knight looking terrific so far as that off-speed pitch is outside. You know, the big argument in Major League Baseball now is that pitchers are too good, as evidenced by the fact that there's already been 2 no-hitters in the big leagues this year so far. And we just got started. That pitch is low, 2-0. So the Atlantic League is experimenting with moving the mound back another foot or so, thinking that that will help the hitters put the ball in play more. 2-0 pitch, check swing, 3-0. Some 37% of all plays so far, at bats, I should say, in the major leagues this year have ended in either a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. And Major League Baseball wants to try to have some more singles, doubles, and triples in there to liven up the game. There's a pitch down the middle, 3-1. Base is empty, 2 outs. Mason FCAHS, the hitter. Aaron Morgan on deck for the Aggies of Brooklyn. Sumrall's only 2 losses, as we mentioned, to South Panola as 6A school and Madison Ridgeland Academy. There's a strike on the corner. The count fills at 3-2. Well, Patrick Carr behind the plate, there's very little doubt as to whether it's a ball or a strike. You can hear his strike call quickly, clearly, and loudly. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Andrew Knight strikes out the side. They go in order. 5 strikeouts on the night so far. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, sponsored by the Alpha Insurance Agency of Casey Long. And Rainforest Car Wash. Don't forget, here in pollen season, that you get a free car wash with any oil change. And the way Rainforest does business, they're opening new locations all the time. Really booming on the Gulf Coast. Thank you, Casey Long, Alpha Insurance, and Rainforest Car Wash for your support. Dito, Ty Little, and Jaron Gore to face Miles Green here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch is high, ball 1. Gatlin Steelman has his cornermen at the bag. A little tighter in toward the elbow. Swung on, fouled into the screen. Third baseman Mason Shows. And the first baseman Wade Riles. Kind of even with the bag. Middle infielders back. Dito, wide receivers we mentioned on the football team. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Took something off it, and there's a little slap base hit into right field. Bobcats have their second hit of the night, and the leadoff man aboard here in the second.
Second baseman, Ty Little.
So here's Ty Little now. One of the two left-handed hitters, but he's not strictly a left-handed hitter. He's a switch hitter. You remember last night against Alec Adams, he was batting from the right side as Adams is a left-handed pitcher. So we'll see how Andy Davis wants to play this now. Mason Shows thinks that the bunt might be on here. He's the third baseman for the Aggies coming in. There's a throw that gets away, and Dito rounds second, is on his way to third. Here's the throw to third. It is off the mark. And some lackadaisical play by the Aggie defense. Dito never hesitated around second base. And Coach Gatlin Steelman is going to huddle his infield here. And I have to call it the way I see it. Again, that was a very lackluster effort by the Aggie defense to get that baseball. And Dito took advantage of it, seeing that they weren't going full speed to the ball. Look, it's no secret that the Sumrall baseball team is not the best hitting team in the world. But when you've got the speed that they've got, they can punish you with a walk. So with the way that they steal bases, and early in the year and most of the season, Hayden Barrett's been among the country leader in stolen bases and everything else. They're just so fast and so smart on the bases. They've got a runner at third with nobody out. And the pitch to Little turns the shoulder. It's inside, ball one. In center field, Jason Garner has Little to pull a little bit. No pun intended. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the corner. Miles Green, the right-hander on the hill for the Aggies. Like Knight, working that far end of the pitching rubber. 1-1 pitch is low. 2-1 as Chandler Burt blocks that one up, the fine Aggie catcher. Sumrall looking to get on the board here in the bottom of the second. 1-1 pitch. Look out, inside again. 2-1. And I'm glad I brought my button-up sweater because it was off earlier, but now that temperature continues to plummet. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on third, nobody out. Gosh, a sac fly would play to run here. Little's just looking for something he can pull, even if it's a ground ball. But the count was 3-2, and that's ball 4. So Little is there with runners on the corners.
Designated hitter, Jaron Gore.
And here's Jaron Gore, the DH. Jaron Gore, quite a story. Came up through the travel leagues as a pitcher, and he was always bigger than everybody else, but such a smart pitcher. Little going with the pitch. They'll throw to third, and Dito back in time. So runners at second and third now with nobody out. So Gore, who put bread on the table, so to speak, by being a pitcher, but has continued to work hitting and has come up with some big key hits this year for the Rawlers. There's a strike, 1-1 now. Steve Cooley still in the short sleeves down at first. Boss man Andy Davis down at third. Breaking balls high, 2-1. I would think that they will switch into the longer sleeves here if this temperature trend continues. The 2-1 pitch, high and inside, 3-1 to Gore. Gore spelled Goar. Levi Odom on deck for Sumrall, batting in the bottom of the second inning. Green will go from the full windup with runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So that's another base on balls. Bases full of Bobcats. And here's Levi Odom. And Levi's really due. And kind of working his way down the order, which is ideally not what you want to do. But the idea of putting a guy lower in the order, he'll see better pitches to hit. Swung on. There's a shot into the gap in left center field. It drops. Again, the outfielder slips and falls. 2 runs will score. Darius Rankin did everything he could just to stay on his feet. It was a base hit all the way, a 2 RBI single, and the Bobcats lead it 2-0.
Catcher Ryan Little.
Well, we were prophetic when we said it was going to be really hard for the outfielders to stay on their feet. On the play, Gore only advanced 1 base. And here's a bunt by Little. It's a fair ball. Play will have to go to first, and it's an errant throw off the top of the glove. 1 run will score. Odom is being held at third. It's a 3-0 baseball game. E1 on the throw, but putting pressure on the defense. Liam Munn will come in to run for Ryan Little, the catcher. Gore scored. Odom is at third now. And Ryan Little took second on the errant throw. So runners on second and third, still nobody out. Swung on. Here's a drive by Barrett. Being measured in left field. That's caught. But tagging and scoring is Odom. We might have a play at third. Sly, and they got him out. Liam Munn was tagging at second and ran right into the throw. So miscue there. And just like that, the bases are empty and 2 outs. Because Barrett flies out to Darius Rankin in left field. He does get an RBI, however. And 4 are across for the good guys here in the bottom of the second inning. And here's Rayner now, who struck out looking his first at bat. Aggies already committed 3 errors. Rayner shows bunt, but then pulls the bat back. Burt asking for an appeal. He said, home plate umpire said he did not go, but the pitch was inside for ball 1. Rayner, whoops. The pitcher fell down, but threw a perfect pitch. A ball and a strike. Boy, that's unusual. Green got his cleat caught in some of that artificial carpet there that is all throughout the Sumrall infield. But he was still able to deliver the pitch, and it was a perfect pitch. 2-1 now to Rayner. Bases empty, 2 away. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Patrick Carr said it was low. It was over the plate. It was just low. Here's the 3-1. Swung on. Here's a lazy fly ball out toward left. Here comes Darius Rankin to make that grab, and that retires the side. But the Bobcats come up with 4 runs on 2 hits. 2 errors, and nobody left on base. We've completed 2 here at Larry Knight Field tonight. It's the Bobcats 4. The Aggies nothing. Back with more in a moment. This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, sponsored by ComSouth, in the business of communicating, particularly business communications, for over 50 years. And as technology evolves, so does the business plan at ComSouth, always knowing the best options that are available to you to help keep your business running smoothly. ComSouth, longtime supporter of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the Highway 42 bypass in Hattiesburg. Also, Real South Hunting, we thank them for their support of Sumrall Baseball. And Java Mo's coffee shops. You don't even have to get out of your car to get that favorite cup of joe. Just go to the drive-thru at Java Mo's with their new location in Vegas, in Poplarville, right across from the campus at Pearl River on Old Highway 11.
Shortstop, Aaron Morgan.
Here's Aaron Morgan, followed by Darius Rankin and then Cody Bickford. First pitch is fought off the fist there. Raymond and Truvy McRaney are checking in tonight. They're watching from the Love Shack. That must be over in Ruston. That's what they call that field over there. Southern Miss rained out tonight. They'll have to play a doubleheader tomorrow and a doubleheader on Sunday. There's a strike at the knees. Knight ahead in the count now, 0-2 to the right-handed hitting shortstop, Aaron Morgan. Darius Franklin, the left fielder, on deck. Knight facing hitters 7, 8, and 9 here in the third. He has faced the minimum. Breaking ball just missed. Knight thought he was able to nibble the corner, but Patrick Carr said it was outside. Gatlin Steelman over at third base in the long sleeves. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went up the ladder and struck him out. Boy, Andrew Knight, have a day, huh? 6 strikeouts. And that's just the first out in the third. In fact, the only player to not be retired via the strikeout was the designated hitter, Blaine Palmer, and he hit a little can of corn out to Cade Dito. So here's Darius Rankin. Breaking ball strike.
Left fielder, Darius Rankin.
Sumrall leading 4-0 here in the top of the third. We've been able to avoid the rain so far. And really, as soon as the game is over, if it wants to come a flood, that's fine. That's inside. To repeat, we don't know about the West Jones game tomorrow. You'll have to follow Sumrall Athletics on social media to find out whether that one's going to be played. The 1-1 pitch swung on. Here's a grounder toward the hole. Marshall Phillips across the hole. Quick throw across the diamond, and he got him. Marshall Phillips showing that rifle arm. Darius Rankin out on the 6-3 putout. And here's Cody Bickford. And that ball
Second baseman, Cody Bickford.
really wasn't hit very hard. Some soft contact, but Marshall Phillips measured Rankin's run down the line and was able to get it there in time. So here's Bickford, the second baseman. First pitch to him is chopped foul. Jason Hawkins and Landon Hawkins, along with Leo Odom, they're over in the ATL, I think, playing a little perfect game baseball over there. That's what Atlanta's known now as, the ATL. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That one's tapped foul. Good luck, you guys, over there, and be careful. Atlanta's a great town. I love Atlanta. Wouldn't want to live there, but it's certainly a great place to visit. Lots of things to do. The Braves not exactly off to a stellar start. But it's a long season. And right now, thank goodness. The 0-2 pitch from Knight. 2 outs, bases empty. Outside, trying to get Bickford to fish. And the flag is limp now in center field, but the Bobcat outfielders have Bickford, the number 9 hitter, shaded toward right. The 1-2 pitch. It bounced in there. Really the first pitch tonight from Andrew Knight that wasn't really close. That artificial surface in the infield here for Sumrall, the outside outfield rather, natural grass, and that's why it's just so soggy out there with all this rain. 2-2 pitch, and that's shot foul down the line, almost over into the executive lounge in right field. And alert the media, somebody in the right field lounge stood up to get out of the way. That's kind of a chill spot over there. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got on the inner part of the plate, and Andrew Knight has at least 2 strikeouts in every inning so far tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Sumrall 4, Forest County nothing. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Back at Larry Knight Field tonight, Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson. Glad that you're along as the Bobcats will send hitters 3, 4, and 5 to the plate. Phillips, Norred, and Cade Dito. From the 601, David and Ginger Berry are watching from not just any place. They are watching from Scruggs Road. You know, Scruggs Road. If you're not watching there, you might as well be camping out. Marshall Phillips with a ground ball is short, but Marshall won't get credited with a hit. That'll be another error. Right through the wickets of Aaron Morgan. Bobcats will take the runner. As we mentioned, they're on Scruggs Road. Zach Berry, who was a student here at Sumrall, he's now coaching baseball down in Florida. And of course, Zane at Scuba Tech up at East Mississippi, where they lion up, Lion up every day. First pitch to Norrid is high and inside. Coach Davis's parents are in Smith County tonight. They're listening to the ball game and watching it. We really appreciate you guys and all the broadcast sponsors. A much heavier rain now starting to fall. It's not with any force, but the drops are pretty big. And it's a 1-1 count to Norrid. Runner going. Throw to second is off the mark, and Phillips slides into second base. So again, I've got a 2-1 count, and that's what it is now. Norrid flew to center his first time up. Again, it's a steady rain, but it's not a hard rain, but it's a cold rain now too. So the 2-1 pitch outside. 3-1 now to Norrid with Cade Dito on deck. Dito singled his first time up. And then a bad throw gave him another base. The 3-1 pitch to Norrid. Strike on the corner. The Ditos, the Gum Pond Ditos, are watching tonight. You know, the Dito name is known worldwide, so you have to distinguish whether it's the Paris Ditos, the London Ditos, or in this case, the Gum Pond Ditos. 3-2 pitch, swung on and fouled away. They're dry tonight over in Gum Pond. And Coach Davis's parents, again, thanking all the sponsors for making these games possible. Who would have thought 15, 20 years ago we'd been able to do this? Payoff pitch to Norrid. Inside, nearly hit him. He ducked to get ball 4 in the books. So runners on first and second.
Right fielder.
And here comes Cade Dito. Wonder if Cade's nickname is Gum Pond. And if not, we should put it on him. Dito hitting fifth in the order for Andy Davis tonight. Single and a run scored. Green has walked a couple of hitters and then has been victimized. His defense has really let him down with 4 errors tonight. And really, there's not a surface that will give you as true a hop as this surface at Sumrall. But Aaron Morgan on the ground ball by Phillips, he just didn't put his skirt down, and it got through the wickets. So here's Dito. Back to work now. Green still on the near side of the pitching rubber, but taking forever. So Dito backs back out as the rain continues to fall here. Green finally gets the sign he likes and comes to the plate. First pitch is high, ball 1. It's kind of like an Oliver Stone movie. You wait and wait and wait, and then for that? 1-0 to Dito. Swing and a miss. Boy, he really had a good lick at that one. Rain coming down heavier now. Again, the wind is not blowing. That's the difference, though, is that it is a slow, steady rain, but no wind to speak of. As you can see, Old Glory there in center field when you get the field shot. 1-1 pitch to Dito. Swung on, pulled the trigger late, but was able to get a piece of it and foul it into the screen. A ball and 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Sumrall leading Forest County 4-0. This inning, Marshall Phillips reached on the error, and then Norad walked, so you got runners on first and second, and nobody out. The 1-2 pitch to Dito. Took something off it, but that was high. 2-2. Forest County's had some great coaches along the years. Chris Clark, former great wide receiver at Petal High School. He was a coach there for a while. Brad Hankins, there's a chopper towards second. This should be 2, but cannot find the ball, and another error. Cody Bickford was thinking of turning the double play, but when he took his eye off the ball, he dropped it and then never could find the handle. So that's an E4. And my goodness, the bases are loaded, nobody out. And there's a line score you don't see very often for Sumrall. 4 runs, 2 hits, no errors. For the Aggies, no runs, no hits, 5 errors. And we're just in the bottom of the third. Little walked his first time up. The Aggies pull the infield in. The first pitch to Little is inside. They tried to bust him inside his last at bat, but he wound up getting the base on balls. Swung on, here's a high pop, shallow center field. Garner coming in, makes the catch. They let it come through, but it's off the mark. So a sacrifice fly allows Phillips to score. 1 away. Runners on first and second.
Designated hitter, Jaron Gore.
And Little is credited with the ribby. Gore walked his first time. 5-0 now, Sumrall. First pitch to Gore. Check swing, but he should have gone. 0-1. Rain looks a little bit heavier now, but again, because there's no wind, it's not causing too much trouble. Swing and a miss. Gore behind that fastball, 0-2. We'll have to check the radar and see if this is going to continue or if we've got maybe a little window moving in the area. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball on the corner, and Gore is retired. As Patrick Carr goes up with the right hand, 2 outs. Runners on first and second, and here comes Levi Odom. Odom singled. And has an RBI. So runners will be going on contact, and man, it's just green and yellow everywhere on the radar. That first pitch is a breaking ball outside. But again, I would think they would have to get through the 5th probably to make it official. Odom hitting 8th in the order tonight. But again, like going down there, he doesn't see as many good pitches. I mean, he'll see primarily a diet of fastballs, which he can mash. 2-0 the count to Odom. That's low, 3-0 now, with Ryan Little on deck. This is kind of the light green type of rain as we get into the heavier green, but there's some yellow stuff behind it, which of course is heavier. 3-0 pitch. There's a strike. The Bobcat. This happens to be, not that it matters necessarily, but this is my favorite Sumrall uniform, the all white. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Wow. That was a Herculean effort right there. So the runners will be going now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As soon as he commits to the plate, everybody off to the races. There they go. And it's high, ball 4. So Odom is there now at first base. Norwood advances to third.
Catcher Ryan Little.
And Dito to second. So the bases are loaded. And here's Ryan Little, who reached on an error his first time up. Put a bunt down. And a throwing error to first base allowed him to get on base. There's a called strike. And again, with Patrick Carr, you know if it's a ball or a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Bobcats left some guys on base last night in a victory. The 0-2 pitch, that gets by Burt, the catcher, but it caroms right back to him. Norwood, a slightly above average speed runner, but as big as his frame is, he's not going to move as quickly as some of the other guys. So Andy Davis held him at third. Sumrall with 4 runs in the second, 1 more here in the third. Little trying to plate some more with the bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch. Too high. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Don't know what Sumrall has in store tomorrow in the West Jones game. Not sure about, as that ball is fouled out of play. The count stays 2-2. West Jones, a premier 5A program. It would be a great baseball game, you'd think, if both teams played to their capabilities, but it's just been a very, very wet spring. And with playoffs starting next week in some cases, 2-2 pitch. Knocked the helmet off of him. But that's why they've got the helmets. So Norwood is in. Tito moves to third. Odom to second, and Liam Munn is running for Little. That's one of the cheapest RBIs you'll ever get, but what the heck.
First base, Liam Munn.
So here's Tweeter Barrett. 3rd inning, 3rd at bat. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Called Tweeter, he's called Pug, he's called Big Pug. 1-0 pitch to Barrett is a strike on the corner. Green not wasting any time. The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the corner. Andy Davis kind of shaking his head down at third base. I think he thinks those might be out just a little bit, but again, consistency. Most umpires are consistent. That one's fouled out of play and hits the field house over to our right. A ball and 2 strikes to Hayden Barrett. He is grounded to second and flown to left, but that fly to left was a sacrifice fly RBI. The 1-2 pitch. Too high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No place to put him. Christy Martin has texted us a picture of the radar, but we've got our radar going up here in the booth. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Here's a grounder towards short. Fielded. Have to go to first with it. And a great throw by the shortstop, Aaron Morgan, to retire Barrett. Barrett's out on the 6-3, but the Bobcats come up with another couple runs on no hits. There were 2 more errors and 3 men left on base. We've completed 3 here in Sumrall. It's the Bobcats 6, the Aggies nothing. This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's. Well, we head to the top of the 4th inning, and still Andrew Knight has faced the minimum. Call him butter because he is on a roll. 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. There's only been 2 Aggies that have put the bat on the ball. Palmer in the 1st inning flew out to Cade Dito, and Darius Rankin last inning grounded out to Phillips. Everybody else is struck out. So here we go. Alec Adams was one of those strikeout victims, and he's coming up again. The 4th inning, and this is just his 2nd at bat.
Right fielder Alec Adams.
To show you how astute our producer director Jeremy Thompson is, anticipating the rain, he moved our tables back from the edge. Now that is being prepared. First pitch to Adams, breaking ball, strike. Adams was the starting pitcher in last night's game. The left-hander playing right field tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, here's a shot towards second. Little dives to his right, quick throw, and he beat it out. That's a hit. That is a base hit. It was a great play by Little just to stop that baseball. And it looked like he did kind of the head first slide over there, and he is soaking wet now at second base. So here's Miles Green. As Knight goes from the stretch. Tapped foul at the plate.
Pitcher Miles Green.
Green struck out his first at bat. Considering so many of the Aggies were fooled by Knight the first time around, I probably won't even tell you what they did at bat as Knight checks the runner. The 0-1 pitch swung on. This one is a fair ball, and it wiggles foul, and quickly Odom touches it foul. And really, that was a service, a good thing for the Bobcats, because that had base hit and infield style all over it. 0-2 to Miles Green, the number 2 hitter in the order. Blaine Palmer, the DH, is on deck as the Aggies bat here in the top of the 4th inning, trailing 6-0. Knight shakes off one signal, checks the runner, and now comes set. The 0-2, breaking ball, same pitch, same result. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. Andrew Knight, whose dad, Larry Knight, now up at Jones College, and the Jones-Pearl River baseball doubleheader scheduled for Tuesday at the Dub in Poplarville. That will be some doubleheader. 0-2 pitch. Got a piece of it. There's the force out by Norad, thrown to second, and they tag him for the force. What a play by Hayden Norad, falling off balance to make that throw. And of course, once he stepped on first base, it eliminated the force out at second, forcing Phillips to tag the runner. That's exactly what happened. One of the most unorthodox double plays you'll ever see. A 3-3-6. Two outs, bases empty. So you had Miles Green getting a cleat stuck in the carpet when he was pitching and threw a strike. You had Norad falling across the bag, falling down after getting the force out at first. Little leaguers remember that. If the first baseman on a double play steps on first base, it eliminates the force at second. You must tag them. First pitch here, swung on, a little lazy, pop to the shallow right field, foul territory. Norad is there and gloves it for the final out. No runs on one hit. No errors. As it turns out, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Here in Lamar County tonight, it's the Bobcats 6, the Aggies nothing. Back in a moment. This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dance. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be hitters 2, 3, and 4 to face Miles Green. Hayes Rayner, who has struck out and flown to left field, he leads it off as the rain is coming down heavier by the minute. First pitch to Rayner is low, ball one. Umpire Patrick Carr went over to the Sumrall dugout in between innings. You have to wonder if he was talking to Andy Davis and saying, look, if we get 5, we may just call it a night. 5 innings, that is. Pitches inside to Rayner, 2-0. Because you wouldn't want to start this one all over again or make the Aggies come back for potentially an inning and a half. That's outside. 3-0. There's a strike. And the key here would be to make sure that Miles Green, the pitcher, has a dry enough baseball that he can control the pitches. 3-1 is inside, ball 4. So Rayner with a leadoff walk.
Shortstop, Marshall Phillips.
And here's Marshall Phillips. He has reached on an error to third and reached on an error to short. So he's putting the ball in play, but unfortunately the Aggies haven't been able to do anything with it. First pitch to him, runner going, swing and a miss. Throw to second base is too high. And Rayner grabs second. 6 runs, 2 hits, no errors for Sumrall. For the Aggies, no runs, 1 hit, and 5 errors. The 0-1 pitch. That one missed. 1-1 to Phillips. With Norred on deck, all the fans are under cover. And most of the players now going back to sit on the bench because they'll get soaked if they don't. 1-1 pitch. This one is off the fist and foul to the right side. This is the hardest it has come down all night, and it's coming down pretty good. Don't know that you can see it on your camera. But if we had a view up here by one of the lights, you'd see just how heavy it is. A ball and 2 strikes to Marshall Phillips. Swung on, and that's another foul. A lot of standing water over by the football field tonight and in between the baseball field house and the football stadium. It just won't stop raining for any length of time to where it can dry up. The 1-2 pitch, that's high, 2-2. Of course, the other thing you might be thinking here is the 10-run rule will be in effect, but that would be after 5 as well. So the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, that pitch was outside, it looked like to me, and he called Phillips out on strikes. Wow.
First baseman, Hayden Norred.
Steve Cooley not happy with that call, and I agree with him. It was a little out. So here's Norred. He flew to center, walked and scored. The 0-1. A strike to Norred. Runner on second. Swung on. Here's a drive to right center field, but Garner's there to make the catch, and it falls out of his glove. Dare I say, another error. Rayner scored. Had Garner hung on to that ball, Rayner was toast at second base because he was on the run. So Norred on an E8. And Norred will be lifted, and Brandon Harrison will run for him. And here's Dito now. He has singled and reached on an error. 6 errors now for the Aggies. Harrison at first. First pitch, here's a drive to right field. Going back to make the catch in right is Alec Adams for out number 2. Dito hit it well, but the air is so heavy here tonight, it's really going to take a monumental effort to get one out of here. And if I'm not mistaken, still the only Bobcats with home runs this year are Barrett and Odom. I know those 2 for sure. 2 outs, and that hit Little. It hit him on the right elbow. So runners on first and second. And here's Walker Long. Walker Long is going to hit for Gore.
Number 34, Walker Long.
Again, Walker Long has really made the most of the few opportunities that he's had. Came off the bench and put an RBI double down the left field line in one of the games this year. Again, his dad, Casey Long, was a standout at Mississippi State, if I'm not mistaken. So runners at first and second with 2 away. We'll see if Long can convert again with runners on first and second. First pitch to Long is a strike. Boy, that was a perfect pitch. Rain continuing to fall. It's pretty heavy, but luckily no wind, so it's coming straight down. The 0-1 swung on. There's a little golf shot down the right field line, but foul into the Bobcat bullpen. Nobody's been warming, and why in the heck would they when Andrew Knight, although he's given up 1 hit, he has faced the minimum. Should Walker Long reach, then Levi Odom would come up to bat as the Rawcats bat here in the bottom of the fourth, leading 7-0. 4 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 more here in the fourth. There's a little floater out toward left center field. Coming in is Garner. He cannot make the catch. Harrison scores. Walker Long does it again. That's the way you get playing time, is to make the most of those opportunities. It's an RBI, another RBI for Long. Advancing to third on the play. Little's at third. Long is at first. It's 8-0. And umpire Patrick Carr wanting some dry baseballs here as that rain continues to come down. Here's Odom. He has singled with an RBI. He scored a run and he's walked and was stranded at second. Bobcats batting here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. And the longer this rain falls and the longer that Sumrall bats, of course, the more Andrew Knight just has to sit and wait. 1-0 pitch is fouled into the screen. Odom started off the season one of the few guys that was red hot. But he'll be the first to tell you he's in a bit of a slump right now and has been moved down in the order. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Ryan Little has the shin guards on, just in case, with 2 outs. And you know that Andy Davis might tell his team to hurry up and get out there. 2-1 pitch, swung on. Here's a shot to left field and caught on the run by Darius Rankin. But man, Odom hit it well, but lined it right to Rankin. So the Bobcats come up with 2 runs
For the Bobcats, 2 runs
on 1 hit. It was another error
One error
and 2 men
and 2 men
left on base. So we've completed 4.
Forest County 0.
It's the Bobcats 8, the Aggies nothing. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Levi Odom, the last Bobcat to get to his defensive place. If the Bobcats can hold the Aggies here, we'll see if they decide to pull the plug on this game, as it would be official. Sumrall would not have to bat in the 5th. But it'll be Riles, Garner, and FCAHS. Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the web, sponsored by Recommended Collision Repair, Casey Long Alpha Insurance, Rainforest Car Wash with 2 locations being put in on the Gulf Coast, Com South Business Communications, Java Mo's Coffee Shops with their new location in Poplarville, Stacy Clark State Farm Insurance in Prentice. Her 2 boys, Sully and Sam, came through the program, Real South Hunting, and of course, Dandy Dan's. We're undercover here, and that's good because we've got a lot of things that run on electricity, and generally electricity and rain are not good partners. Here's Riles, who struck out his first time up. 8-0 Sumrall.
First baseman Wade Riles.
Bobcats 8 runs, 3 hits, no errors. The Aggies no runs, 1 hit, 6 errors. First pitch, outside, ball 1. And this will be a test for Andrew Knight too, because he'll have to weather the elements, no pun intended. Well, I take that back, pun intended. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And he hops with that little spring step back onto the rubber. The last of the Knight boys, at least in this generation anyway. The 1-1 pitch. And that's fought off and fouled very near the Sumrall dugout over here. Landon Holloman throwing it back in. Well, we can't wait to see the future he's got, Landon Holloman. The 1-2 pitch to the leadoff hitter, Wade Riles. Andrew Knight has been terrific. 1-2 pitch outside, tried to get him to chase. Knight has 7 strikeouts. Last inning was the only inning that he didn't record at least 2. He's been on fire. The 2-2 pitch. Ooh, I don't know where that was. Knight thought he had it, and so did Ryan Little. Must have called it low. 3-2 to Riles. The leadoff hitter here in the 5th as the rain continues to come down. 3-2 pitch, swung on. Here's a high fly ball to Dito. He's looking at it in right field, gets underneath it, and makes the grab for 1 away. The thing you have to worry about playing outfield now, not only is the turf just sopping wet,
Center fielder Jason Garner.
but now when you look up into the sky to try to make a catch, you've got raindrops pelting your face, your eyes, everything else. So here's Garner, the center fielder. He too a strikeout victim. First pitch to him, swung on. There's a base hit. Little looper into center field that Rayner will come up with. I know Garner made an error earlier in the game, but he's a terrific baseball player, and I'm telling you, one of the fastest guys you'll ever see. He's an amazing runner. And here's Mason Shows.
Third baseman Mason Shows.
Shows, guess what? Struck out in his only other at bat. Bobcats looking to go 21-2. And the softball team at Sumrall says, don't forget us. They've also already won 20 games. First pitch is high, ball 1. I think they're 20-3. The rain started a couple of innings ago and just has not stopped. Knight checks the runner at first. And the 1-0. Swing and a miss. No changes in the defense. Rayner being shaded over toward left. Of course, that would still mean that they've got Shows going the opposite way as he's the left-handed hitter. It's amazing that these two teams got the game in last night in Brooklyn, and it is coming down even heavier now. I've got to think that if the Bobcats can get out of this inning, and if they can't get out leading by 8, then they probably don't deserve it, but I'm saying statistically they will, and I would think that the home plate umpire would call it a night. 2-1 the count to Mason Shows, and the reason being the 10-run rule wouldn't come into play. It would be an official game in the books and would not have to be replayed or suspended. The 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. There's now little standing water in the Sumrall dugout over to our right. Williamson now in at second base. The 2-2 pitch. That missed low. So Little done for the night. The Ryan variety. We'll see if Coach Gatlin Steelman starts Garner here at first base. He's really fast. Not going. Swing and a miss. Shows down on strikes. The 8th strikeout of the night for Knight. And here's Aaron Morgan, who struck out his only other at bat.
Shortstop Aaron Morgan.
Congratulations to all the seniors that were saluted tonight. This is the final home game of the regular season. Of course, the Bobcats are going to get plenty of games at home in the playoffs, but these are the only ones you know for sure. There's a good chance that pitch is outside for parents, brothers and sisters to enjoy the honor because it has been as the kids say, a jacked up couple of years in baseball. Sumrall played, I think, 12 games last year before the pandemic hit and shut everything down. 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on the corner. And they were very good last year, you'll recall. But then this season was kind of in doubt. Was everybody going to get to go to the games? All the testing. It was a mess. 1-1 pitch. Fought off. And into the screen. Knight is ahead in the count now 1-2 with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Bobcats leading the Aggies 8-0. And it would be yet another shutout for the Bobcat defense if this score holds. Garner at first base with the lead. The 1-2 pitch took something off, and that bounced in there and gets by a little, so Garner races to second. So he's there. Knight disposes of that baseball and wants a dry one. And this is where that turf infield that Sumrall has, this is where you really get your money's worth, and why Southern Miss made that big change to get the turf at their place, because if the outfield's already wet enough, it really helps with drainage and so on. 2-2 pitch, and that hit him. And you kind of hear a collective gasp, but I'm not so sure anymore that it's a matter of a loss of control or just baseball's wet and it slipped out of his hand.
Left fielder Darius Rankin.
Here's Darius Rankin, who grounded out to Phillips in his only other at bat. The Aggies batting in the top of the 5th inning, trailing the Bobcats 8-0. After a scoreless first, the Bobcats put up 4 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 more in the fourth. All of it on 3 hits. First pitch to Rankin, and that hit him. So now the bases are loaded. And that's what I'm telling you. That's obviously very uncharacteristic Andrew Knight. So I'm wondering if the baseballs are just
Second baseman.
as hard as they're trying to keep them dry. Patrick Carr coming over here talking to his crew chief Mike Smith down the line, and also Andy Davis in the dugout. He's getting some more dry baseballs. The student managers for the Bobcats do a terrific job in trying to keep all those baseballs pristine. So here's Cody Bickford. He struck out his first time up. Bases full of Aggies here with 2 outs. First pitch is low, ball 1. Bickford playing second base tonight for Miles Green, who was the starting pitcher. Green played second base last night. From the full windup with the bases loaded, Knight delivers. Strike on the corner. The Aggies didn't like that call. It nipped the corner. Now the catch, remember, it's not where the catcher catches it. It's where it comes across the plate. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on. That one kind of scraped down the first base line, just outside the line. 1-2 now. Ty Little will come out of the dugout to race down the line to get that one. Follow Sumrall Athletics on social media to find out about the West Jones game tomorrow. I'd say probably more likely than not it will not be played, but let's have to see. 1-2 pitch. Too high, 2-2. Garner at third, Morgan at second, Rankin at first. Bases full of Aggies. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Bickford. Knight gets the sign. Here it comes. Swung on. Fly ball down the right field line, but it'll get out of play as Dito runs out of room. Count stays 2-2. And Ty Little again will have a little jog. It's raining hard enough for it just a foul ball landing in the wrong spot. Could waterlog it. And now there's a ball on the field just inside the left field line. And some little kids, wouldn't you know it, little kids down the left field line playing some form of baseball. That ball got away from him. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Knight again with the bases loaded from the full wind. Now time at the plate. Bickford didn't like the fact that Knight was taking so much time. And man, it is coming down. You're actually starting to see some of the standing water even on the artificial turf. The 2-2 pitch. Low, 3-2. Cody Bickford, the number 9 man in the order, against Andrew Knight, who's one of the hottest pitchers in the state right now. Something's got to give here. 3 ball, 2 strike pitch. 2 outs, swung on. Here's a grounder towards second. Williamson's got it. Throw to first. And that retires the side. So they leave the bases loaded, do the Aggies.
In the inning for Forest County, no runs, 1 hit.
No runs on 1 hit.
Left on base after 4 innings of play. Sumrall 8, Forest County 0.
And it does not look like anybody's going anywhere right now. So we carry on, and the Aggies have a pitching change. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll report back to you in a moment. In the rain, we continue here in Sumrall with the Aggies up 8-0. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's.
South Glass for sponsoring tonight's game.
Mason FCAHS is in the ball game as the relief pitcher now for Green. And really, he and Green just swapped positions. So FCAHS will now come in to pitch. And he will face Ryan Little and then the top of the order. Now the 10-run rule is in effect. If Sumrall batting now here in the bottom of the 5th. This game was originally started to schedule about, they're scheduled to start at 6:30. I think it was closer to 6:50 probably before we got started, somewhere in there. So FCAHS comes in.
Catcher Ryan Little.
And he'll face hitters 9, 1, and 2. Ryan Little has reached on an error and he's been hit by a pitch. FCAHS wants a new baseball, but he can't get the attention of his catcher, Burt. So finally, Patrick Carr, seeing what's going on, goes out and underhands one to him. So here's Little leading off for the Bobcats here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On a progressively wet Friday night. First pitch way outside to Little. Sumrall, big district champions going away this year. 1-0 pitch, again way outside. The Aggies had to win this game just to get in the playoffs. And it's looking increasingly unlikely that they'll do that. So they would be the odd team out. There's a strike. So Purvis would be the 2 seed, and I'm not sure whether Greene County or Poplarville would be the 3 or the 4. But we just know that the Aggies would be out. That's a foul into the football field. The count evens up at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Righty versus righty, the matchup here. for Ryan Little. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Into the infield, right side. Catch made. And there's one away. Back to the top of the order. This is Hayden Barrett's 4th at bat, and we're just in the 5th inning. But he's got nothing to show for his work so far. He's grounded to second, flown to left, and grounded to short. Uncle Ernie hasn't checked in yet tonight, the 601-310-7077. You can always reach us in our broadcast location at that number. It's time for old Big Pug. He's due here. 1-0 pitch way outside again, 2-0. Southern Miss's game was rained out tonight over in Ruston at the Love Shack, so they'll play a doubleheader tomorrow and a doubleheader Sunday. And I'm guessing all those games will be 7-inning games. Wow. That is tough. Here's the 2-0. Outside, 3-0 to Barrett. Hayes Rayner on deck. No signs of the rain letting up, really. Here's the 3-0. That bounces up there. And again, here's where Barrett can just murder you. I mean, he's the last guy you want to give a free base to. There's Uncle Ernie.
Batters number 6, Liam Munn.
Uncle Ernie's here live tonight. Yeah, we should get Uncle Ernie on our broadcast. Give him an extra headset. Get his point of view. Here's Liam Munn now hitting for Rayner. Righty versus righty this matchup. With Marshall Phillips on deck. Hey, tell Uncle Ernie he's welcome to come up here. Well, I don't want him to take my job, but he's always welcome in the booth. Runner going, strike one, throw towards second is off the mark. Barrett got there a little bit late. Had the throw been to the second base side, he'd have probably been out. But he's at second now. Miss Anita Sumrall is watching from North Alabama tonight. This internet thing is pretty cool. You can even be in North Alabama and watch the game. Time at the plate now. Miss Anita, if she was watching from the other end of Alabama, I wouldn't even mention it because then I'd have to say South Alabama. And to Southern Miss fans this year, those are dirty words. The Eagles just can't beat the Jags for some reason. Throw to third is off the mark. And Barrett is there. And that's a school record for stolen bases for Hayden Barrett. So congratulations. A ball, a strike, and an out to Liam Munn. Way outside. 2-1 now, says Patrick Carr. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the 5th inning, leading 8-0. That's too high. 3-1. So Munn may be on the take here. He wasn't. He let it rip, and the count goes full now at 3-2. Because you figure if Munn can get on with his incredible speed, they'd steal him to second and a base hit by Phillips. Munn thought that pitch was way out.
Shortstop, Marshall Phillips.
But he's down on strikes. 2 away. And here's Phillips. Low and outside. Phillips reached on an error twice. One by the third baseman, one by the shortstop. He struck out looking his last time. 1-0 the count here. Swung on, there's a shot to third. Nice play by Green and a throw that gets Marshall Phillips out. So nothing across for the Bobcats in the fifth.
In the inning for Sumrall, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base after 5 innings of play. Sumrall
We've
8,
completed
Forest
5
0.
here in Sumrall. Rain may be letting up just a hair, but not much. Sumrall leads Forest County 8-0. This is Bobcat Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Andrew Knight back to work, and he'll face the top of the order. Adams, Green, and Palmer.
Sumrall scheduled to play West Jones tomorrow at West Jones. JV at 11 o'clock, varsity at 1 o'clock. Correction, 1 o'clock only varsity.
So down goes the throw. So Knight's still in there. Again, Williamson playing second base. Barrett has moved to center, and Munn to left. Munn hit for Rayner that inning. And the first pitch by Knight is swing and a miss by Adams. He's 1 for 2 tonight, is Adams. A strikeout and a single. Strikeout came in the first, the single came in the fourth. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, here's a chopper toward third. Odom will cut it off, throws across his body for the out. Good play by Odom, good communication. Phillips would have had to have moved to his right. Odom took the angle and made the play. 1 out. And here's Miles Green.
Batters number 9, Miles Green.
With that steal of third base by Hayden Barrett in the bottom of the 5th inning, that set a new stolen base school record. There's a strike. And what's amazing about him setting the school record is, imagine how many more he could potentially get if Sumrall goes deep into the playoffs. Here's the 0-1. There's a shot toward third. Again, Odom's got it, sets his feet. Long throw, but pulled Norred off the bag. That's an E5. And again, perhaps a wet baseball was to blame. But here's Blaine Palmer now. He has flown to right and popped up to first base. The pop out was in foul territory. Sumrall's first miscue of the night. And again, pitchers' worst enemies, besides the walk, are errors, because those are outs that should be recorded, and it forces the pitcher to throw more than he should normally need to. That pitch is high, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled away to the right side. So 1-1 to Palmer. Bases have 1 man aboard, and that is Miles Green. Breaking ball, beautiful pitch. Took something off of it there, 1-2. That strike call of Patrick Cars has lost a little luster since the first inning. But he's had to deal with the rain, which continues to fall here. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So 2 down. And for Knight, that is his 9th strikeout.
Number 10, Wade Rouse.
He has had at least 1 strikeout in every inning except the 4th. Strike on the corner to Wade Riles, who has struck out and flown to Dito and right. Rain might be letting up just a little now. I think it'll just be temporary because it looks like we're in for a long haul of rain this night. Here's a chopper toward third. Odom's got it. Tries to set his feet again and make that throw. Grip, and that's that. Riles is out on the 5-3. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base.
There was 1 error and 1 man left on base after 6.5 innings played. Correction, 5.5 innings played. Sumrall 8, Forest County 0.
This is Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mason Shouse on the hill for the Aggies, and he'll face Norred, Dito, and Williamson. That's 4, 5, and 6 in the order. 10-run rule in effect if the Bobcats can get a couple runs here in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Knight has pitched the whole game, really hasn't thrown that many pitches.
First baseman Hayden Norred.
And we understand that as of now, the West Jones game tomorrow is on. Varsity at 1 o'clock. JV will follow. First pitch, swing and a miss. Now again, that's right now, but if rain continues to fall like it's expected to, particularly in Jones County north of here, that game could be in jeopardy. 1-1 the count to Norred. That's too high. 2-1 now. Norred has flown to center. He has walked and reached on an error, but he has scored 2 runs. That one bounced in there. Dito is on the on-deck circle, and Norred, as per usual, has that foot on the back line of the batter's box as that one is fought off and knocked out of play. This is the lightest it has rained now in a good bit, but it's still certainly noticeable precipitation. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fought again into the netting, and that time when it hit the net, it kind of shook some of the drops off of the net. How'd you guys like it last week, me calling Hideki Matsuyama to win the Masters on Tuesday? I said Matsuyama would win, and he did. Here's the 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So Norred is there, and here is Dito now. I wonder if they're still dry in Gum Pond. We haven't heard from the Melby crew tonight. Splinter and the guys have not checked in. And I know somebody made a comment on social media when we said we hadn't been invited to any of the cookouts in Melby. And they said you don't get invited to parties in Melby, you just show up. Malik McNair is the runner at second base for Sumrall.
Run at first base, Malik McNair.
Making his initial appearance in the Sumrall uniform. And the rain picks up again. Heavy, heavy drops now again. Here's Dito. McNair, a big lead at first base. You better be pretty athletic with a last name like McNair. I mean, it just kind of stands to reason, doesn't it? I remember the late Steve McNair. I got to see him play as a high schooler in Mount Olive. And he was so skinny in high school. And he thought, man, this guy's going to get broken in half. But Boyd got into the weight room, and he was just terrific. First pitch fouled into the screen by Cade Dito. Really, when you think about it, the Dito last name, it's not that difficult to pronounce. But, man, so many people across the state just have fits with his name. FCAHS now off of the pitching rubber as that rain picks up again. Throw again to first base. Well, they are really bothered by McNair, as it is now pouring here in Sumrall. Throw again, and I don't know if this might not be a design just to get this. They know it's raining this hard and to stop this game. The 0-1 outside, pitch out, throw too high, and McNair is there. But really, in this inning, with a 1-1 count, McNair's not really the guy that counts. It's Dito at the plate. Dito represents the 10th run. And it is really coming down. The 1-1 pitch. There's a strike. 1-2 now to Dito, with Williamson on deck. Williamson came in to play second base for senior Ryan Little. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, nearly hit Dito. That even scared home plate umpire Patrick Carr just a little bit. And see, I'm not really hip to the MHSAA rules, but I would think that Patrick Carr, the home plate umpire, it's his discretion, and I would think at any time he could call this game and just say, look, it's official. It's just too wet. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Dito out on strikes. But at this point, too,
That is number 5, Jackson Williamson.
You might think, well, Sumrall just has to hold the Aggies one more time. And here's Jackson Williamson. Getting a shot at Mason FCAHS, the second pitcher for the Aggies tonight. Miles Green started. First pitch is a strike. It's right there. So Malik McNair making his initial appearance there. He's at second base in a non-force situation. There's a pickoff attempt, and McNair will get up and fly to third base. But again, as far as the 10-run rule goes, he doesn't matter as much as the guy at the plate. 8 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Sumrall. That's right, 3 hits. The Aggies, no runs, 2 hits, 6 errors. Mercy. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. Cross Sibley out of the dugout with a runner on third and 1 out. The 0-2 pitch outside, gets away from the catcher. McNair, though, will hold his position at third base. The count goes 1-2, and FCAHS wants to rub the baseball on his pants, but that's really futile because his britches are as wet as the baseball is. I mean, there's just Everybody's sopping wet as that rain continues to come down. It's got to give these teams an A for effort here to get this game in. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Here's a slow roller towards second. Should be routine. Throw to first, but nothing is routine as Williamson goes down to second base. A run is in. Now Patrick Carr, the home plate umpire, has called time. So Williamson, E4.
Batters number 25, Carl Sibley.
So here's Sibley. 9-0. If Sibley can find a way to get Williamson home, the 10-run rule would be invoked. First pitch, foul ball, and Sibley lost the bat. Shows you how wet it is. He swung and lost the grip of the bat that went into the screen. Thank goodness that netting is there, or somebody would have needed an Invisalign that had taken it right in the mouth. Levi Odom trying to dry off a bat handle. Oh, 0-1 to Sibley. One out here in the bottom of the sixth. Too high. 1-1 now. John Sawyer, Williamson on deck. And you would think that Childs would want to get this inning over, but keeps looking back at the runners. Low to Sibley, 2-1 now. Sibley, one of the seniors, of course, saluted tonight. He'll be headed to Jones, where he'll be reunited with last year's coach, Larry Knight. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the sixth, leading at 9-0. The only two innings they did not play at least one was the first and the fifth. The 2-1 pitch. Foul ball. That hit right above us. You heard the clank of the aluminum bar right above us. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Sibley was in the batting order quite a bit at the beginning of the year, but struggled badly and strikes out there.
Batter number 36, John Sawyer Williamson.
So 2 away. Here's John Sawyer Williamson now. So with 2 outs, Jackson Williamson will be off to the races on anything hit. And the 10-run rule in effect here, but it's 9-0, so they'd have to get him home to end the game here. And it's not like I've got anything to do. It's just so wet. There goes Williamson to third. Throw to third is off the mark. And if that ball gotten into left field, that could have been the game-ending play. So 1-0 to John Sawyer Williamson. Well, there was the old song, A Rainy Night in Georgia, but we've got a rainy night in Lamar County. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike to John Sawyer Williamson. Sumrall batting in the bottom of the sixth. Andrew Knight has been brilliant on the mound. That one's high and inside. 2 balls and a strike with Ryan Little on deck, Sumrall catcher. It's low, 3-1 to Williamson. And Chandler Burt, the catcher, tried to frame that ball up and get the call. The 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. So we'll see if Williamson or FCAHS wins this battle. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Williamson down on strikes, and so too are the Bobcats.
The bottom of the sixth for the Bobcats.
One run on no hits.
There was
One error and one man left on base.
6 innings in play. Sumrall 9, Forest County 0.
So we go to the last chance seventh. For the Aggies, they'll have hitters 5, 6, and 7 come to the plate. You're watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's.
Morales.
So Andrew Knight's night is done, and Jose Morales, another one of the seniors that was saluted tonight, will come in to finish the ball game. Quite a gesture from Coach Andy Davis. But again, you don't give up a lot. This pitching staff goes 8 or 9 deep. And I mean, they're not throwers, they're pitchers. It's amazing. Morales was a guy that was not expected to be a lead actor, so to speak, but he has had a tremendous senior season. And he will face hitters 5, 6, and 7 here in the 7th. Again, our sponsors: Recommended Collision Repair, Casey Long Alpha Insurance, Rainforest Car Wash, ComSouth Business Communications, Java Mo's Coffee Shops, Stacy Clark State Farm Insurance Agent, Real South Hunting, and Dandy Dan's. Pouring again. We've got drops hanging from the railing in front of us here.
Batters number 11, Jason Gardner.
Here's Garner. Civilly goes in to play defense at first base. Morales goes from the stretch. The first pitch to Garner is high, ball 1. Boy, that wind coming through here now. Not a heavy wind, but boy, is it cold. Is that what they mean by a cold front coming through? The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. But again, when you look at this pitching staff, Knight, Norred, Sibley, Odom, Morales, Phillips, Gore. It goes on and on and on. A ball and 2 strikes to Jason Garner. He has struck out and singled. He's got a 1-for-2 night. That pitch is high and outside. 2-2 now, as the Aggies bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Comes set and the pitch. Strike 3 on the corner, and Garner doesn't like it. He goes back to the dugout, and Morales with his first strikeout of the night. So Andrew Knight pitched 6 innings, gave up no runs on 2 hits. A couple of hit batsmen, and 9 strikeouts. Pretty good night. Pretty good NIGHT for KNIGHT. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. I'm going to have to put on my sweater, you guys. Glad I brought it. Just in case anyone is wondering, it's a medium. You believe that? Got some land I want to sell you. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on. Williamson's got it at second, flips to first for out number 2. And it'll be up to Aaron Morgan.
Batters number 5, Aaron Morgan.
And it really is remarkable that as heavy as it has been raining, that it appears that this game is going to go all 7. Base is empty, 2 away. First pitch from Morales. There's a shot foul just wide of third. Morales is the type of pitcher that is not going to necessarily blow you away with his stuff. But he'll change his speeds. He'll work at different levels in the strike zone, and he'll work in and out. So he really keeps you guessing. The 0-1 pitch. And he has to, as he fools the hitter there, because he doesn't have that kind of overpowering stuff. No balls, 2 strikes, base is empty, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Outside. 1-2 to Morgan with Darius Rankin on deck. Sumrall leading 9-0 and could very well notch yet another shutout. The 1-2 pitch. Got a piece of it to stay alive as the rain continues to fall. And Ryan Little over in the Sumrall dugout, soaking wet, and he's got his arms folded trying to stay warm. That temperature has dropped, and it's a cold, wet rain. The 1-2 pitch. Inside. Mississippi State has beaten Ole Miss tonight, 5-2. So that dominance, I guess, somewhat dominance, continues. I kind of thought going into the year, and no offense to anybody, but I thought Mississippi State was a better team than Ole Miss. Not that Ole Miss is lousy by any means. 2-2 pitch is low, 3-2. Base is empty, 2 outs. Got a lot of people cold and wet saying, come on, Morales. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, here's a chopper towards second. Williamson gloves it, throws across his body for the 4-3 putout, and that's the ball game. 9 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Sumrall. No runs, 2 hits, and 7 errors for the Aggies. The victory for the Bobcats puts them 21-2 overall. And of course, district champions, and with the loss tonight, the Aggies, we understand, are eliminated from playoff contention. West Jones, the varsity game tomorrow at 1 o'clock with the JV to follow. Weather permitting, follow Sumrall Athletics on social media for any updates. For producer engineer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. As always, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks to the sponsors for making it all possible. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's.